can like barely see anything through these lenses. Where were my spider sensors? Bro, I'm so pumped, bro. This is gonna be awesome.
What is up, everybody? Today, ICIQ, we're going to be talking about how to start collecting comic books. I'm super pumped about this because honestly, if you're a beginner, intermediate, you've been doing this for a while, I have some tips that I feel like are going to help, just 4 tips on how to really sharpen your collecting game, making sure that you're getting comic books that you love. And I've seen a ton of YouTube videos out there on this, and I feel like they all just get so complicated. I'm going to focus on what I feel like really counts, and we'll get into it together, okay? For first-time comic book shoppers, it can be so overwhelming going into the comic book store and not knowing what you're looking at. Even now, I go in and see some single issues and some compacts and stuff, and I get confused. It's so hard to know what you want, and that's why I feel like this first step is so vital to helping you narrow down your selection of comic books, especially if you are a brand new reader. And that's why rule number 1, before we even know the different kinds of comic books and what the layout for buying them is always going to be knowing which kind of story you want to get into before you go and buy anything. Do you like the more nitty-gritty, something dark, something heavy? Or do you want something more uplifting and light and fun? Or maybe something emotional that hits all those beats? If you know that, you are way more likely to get a story that you love and are invested in. So let's say you're looking for your first ever comic book and you want a Spider-Man comic book. Make sure before you go and get that comic book, you know what kind of story you want to read. Maybe you want something more light and fun, or maybe something a little bit more edgy and intense. Make sure you do that research and go on a platform like Google or Reddit or ChatGPT and ask questions so you know which comic books you're getting into. Light stories could be like Brand New Day or Spider-Man Worlds Collide. More emotional could be like Spider-Man Blue. And more intense and gritty could be like Spider-Man Kraven's Last Hunt. Sweet, so now we know step 1, and if you like the video so far, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 150 subscribers by the end of the month, and that would be so helpful. It'd be so cool if you guys could do that. All right, let's talk about rule number 2. And rule number 2 is where a lot of people get super stressed out, and that's knowing the format of how you want to pick up your comic book. You have the story in mind, you have your vibe, now you got to decide what format do I want to pick up my comic books in. And I promise you, once we break it down, it's way more simple than you think. Our first format is called single issues, and I think this is what stresses out beginners the most. I want you to think about this like a weekly TV show that adds up to a full series. They come out every week on Wednesday, and they add up to make a full, bigger story. Now, I recommend doing this for more recent and new stories. It can be hard to find a bunch of old single issues for a series that's already been released. So if you have a series that you love or are really interested in getting into right at the moment, then single issue might be the way to pick it up. It gives you more cover art, and that's pretty cool. Just a quick little tip, if you're like me, comic books are already so expensive and I can barely afford them. So don't get distracted by the action figures. You don't have enough money for the action figures. No, all jokes aside, if you got enough money for the action figures, like that's cool, man. I'm jealous. Now up next is volumes, and I want you to think of volumes like collecting an entire season of one TV show. It's not the whole story, but it's a great way to collect comic books. It's how I collect most of mine. It's a great bang for your buck, and it builds a story. And there's always a section in each comic book store that has lots of volumes along with other styles of books. Now third, we have DC Compact and Marvel Premiere Collection. These are awesome. They're always going to be around $12 to $14, sometimes even $10. And this is like collecting the whole TV show. You get a whole story in it, and it's a lot cheaper. Because of that, the quality is a little less nice, but it's such a great way to pick up stories that I otherwise would not be able to afford. And I am a huge fan of this medium of comic book. I feel like it just allows you to get the classic stories that everyone raves about, and that is amazing. Finally is compacts, and I can't speak much on these. I don't own any personally. I am too broke, but that is like the thick version of comic books. They're huge, they're massive, and I would only recommend getting these if you are ready to commit to one story and one character. And now rule number 3, now that you know the different mediums of compacts and kind of how to get the vibe of what story you're hoping to get, I would say the most important thing is knowing where to buy your comic books. Now, going into your local comic book shop and grabbing a book is never a bad option, but if you're like me and follow the first step, sometimes you're looking for a very specific book, and that can be tough to find. And there are always apps to help you organize what you are looking for. And honestly, there's also always Amazon. And then there's also the 50% area grabs in comic books, used books and stuff like that are great if you can find what you are looking for. And this might sound like a funny addition to this rule, but when it comes to where to buy your comic books, the biggest thing is to never make any compromise unless you do the research beforehand. There have been so many times where I couldn't find the book that I wanted and I just grabbed something random from the 50% bargain bin or whatever, and I hated it. It wasn't a good comic book and I regret buying it. And so make sure that when you do your research and you know what you want to buy, make sure you're buying it at the right place. If they don't have it in the comic book store, buy it online. And that's like one of the best recommendations I can give you. And the fourth step, which I think is the most important to making sure that you keep reading good comics, is to get involved with the community. I mean, even if you're scared to talk to people at your local comic book shop, there are lots of great YouTubers and content out there that give great recommendations. This is how I kind of navigated my first months as a comic book collector, and I highly recommend it. Go out there and find some YouTubers that really inspire you to pick up comic books that you'd be excited about. And again, thank you so much guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully these tips are helpful. They help you navigate buying your own comic books and collecting. I really appreciate it. Please leave comments if you want recommendations for comic books that you want to get into. I have lots of recommendations. And please subscribe and help to support the channel, the growth and everything. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make videos the way I want to with this broken bones. I have 3 broken bones right now, and that's been really unfortunate. But, I would love the support, and we're going to keep going. So, yeah, thank you so much.
And then go back to me. Blood kisses.